Hey guys, last week's videos were awesome. You guys did a great job. For this week, I'm going to show you a couple new things. We're going to go over some more text like choices, self switches, and the auto run event feature, which you saw highlighted in Catherine's opening video and Brandon's opening video. I'll show you what they did and how that works. So let me first show you the game that I made, kind of give you a sense of what we're doing. This is, of course, the extension of Colin is adorable, isn't he? I turned the game sound down a lot. I actually made a video already, and I couldn't hear myself over the game video, so I had to remake the game sound, so I had to remake the video. So that's fun. All right, so we're just gonna leave the house. So this starts our auto run feature, right? As soon as we leave the house, this event is triggered, and it's basically just text. Meet our brave adventurer Colin. Colin doesn't know it yet, but he is about to embark on a grand quest. He must meet and fall in love with the mermaid Rebecca. Sorry, CJ. And he must save her from great peril. No, wait, that's a different story. He just has to earn her love. Now go, Colin. Adventure forth. You take a few steps forward automatically, and then it says, oh, wait, do it in the rain. That's more epic. So then I faded out the music, the screen dimmed, and it started raining. I'll show you some of those little, like, glitzy features. They're pretty like, easy to do. You just have to kind of, like, take some time to look in the menu. So now we're moving around. This is no longer the auto event. Um, and I'm just going to go down to where I know the mermaid is. And she's going to go come. So that was auto run, right? She auto came over to us once we stepped on this spot. And she says, hey, big boy. And I'm going to flirt with the mermaid. Why not? Sup, girl? You're a fine looking mermaid. Silence! Okay. Answer me these questions and prove yourself worthy. She didn't see that coming. Okay, what questions? Which of the following is not a fish? Professor Dr. Jones is not a fish. Correct! Professor Dr. Jones is not a fish. He is a professor doctor. Approximately how many species of fish are there in the world? I'm going to guess 27,000. Yes! Oh man, I'm amazing. How many teeth can a shark grow in its lifetime? 5 million. No, 50,000. That's still a lot. Still a lot. What is the largest species of fish? Blue whale is a mammal. Ha! Trick question. It's a whale shark. Yes! You did okay enough for me. Let's get married. And so it was that Colin met and won the affection of his beloved mermaid wife, Rebecca. So remember, kids, it's very important to remember facts about fish. All right, and then we're back to the start. So we did a lot of stuff there. I'm going to open up a new project. You can kind of load up your old one and add on to it, or you can do a new one. It's whatever. So we're going to call this, what is this? Assignment. Oh my gosh. Typing's hard. Assignment 2. All right, so it's going to do these little load ups. You're going to use characters that you generated, or you can just use characters that are already in the game. It's whatever you want. So let's go ahead and we've got our main like actor here. Let's load up a new map. So I right click down here and I'm going to do load. You might already have a map you want, but we are going to be in the market. Great. All right, so my starting character, I'm going to put him right here. Quick event, or no, set starting position player. So that's where you just right click, and there's a couple like quick events. There's like doors and stuff. We'll go over those later, but you can set your player to start in any location. So that's kind of cool. That was just right clicking on a tile, set start position player. So now he's going to start the game here. All right, so when he enters this map, which is going to be the default, we want to make an auto run event, okay? So the way that works is you double click on any tile. I recommend a consistent spot. I like to do top left in all of my games so that I know that this is where my auto run event is. So the reason it doesn't matter where it is we're not going up to it and interacting with it with the trigger action button or player touch, right? We don't have to touch it. It's just going to run automatically. So we're going to do auto run. All right, so now it's going to do some stuff. So let's go to the content. We're going to double click here. And we're going to do another one of those kind of introductory like story text or something, right? So let's do show text, okay? There's no face because nobody's talking, although you could put in a narrator. Let's put in a narrator. Why not? The sea captain is narrating. Yar! Welcome to Sea Captain Land. God, I'm so good at this. All right, so that's going to be the first thing he says. I like to make, if the game is talking to you versus like you go up and talk to a person, I like to distinguish the difference using the background or window position, just a personal preference thing. I'm going to go dim at the top. That's going to be how I distinguish it. If I was talking to a person like out in the world, I would do window bottom maybe. I don't know, just a personal preference. So I'm going to go background dim and position top. He's going to say, welcome to Sea Captain Land. I'm going to copy this text and paste it. This is a really easy way to, continue a dialogue. That way you don't have to pull up his face again. You can just change the text, right? Yar. He's going to talk in all caps. He's a very loud pirate. Your mission is to talk to the barman at the bar. Okay, so we're going to talk to the barman at the bar. Awesome. All right, and that's going to be our whole auto run. That's going to be our whole auto run thing, right? So now if we don't do something to end this event, because it's an auto run, it will play the content. So it'll play this text, get to here, and then it will actually keep doing that forever. It will infinitely loop because it's not triggered by anything other than it automatically running. So we've got to turn this off. The easiest way to turn off an event is you double click the next line, you go to the second page, and you erase event. Okay? So it's going to go text, erase, and then you'll never have to deal with this again. So yeah, that's important. Let's see here. So now the game will let us play, and we need to go talk to the barman. That's weird. I don't have a bar. Let's pretend that this is a bar, and there's going to be a barman here. Okay, so I'm going to double click. We're going to call this bar man. All right, I broke one of my cardinal rules, which is this event up here. I should name it. So I'm going to double click it again, and instead of event 001, it's going to be auto run. Okay. And none of the videos we've done so far, the naming of the events hasn't really mattered, but it might later. So get in the habit of doing it and teach your kids to do it. All right, so we're going to double click back here on barman. We're going to double click image and find ourselves a barman. I'm just going to look real quick through these people and find a guy who looks like he might run a bar. Hi, Bruta. Yo, this is no ordinary bar, man. This is a bar king. All right, so there's the king. And now we're going to do contents. We're going to do some more text, okay? And he's going to face, let's see, he was somewhere in here, one of the people. There's our king. And he's going to say, hail, he's a king, he's very formal. And well met, traveler. Great. And then our guy is going to reply. And this is just the kind of stuff you can do with text, right? You can go back and forth all day with this stuff. Hello, I need a barman. Period. And then again, I'm going to copy and paste that first line of text so I don't have to pull up the image. It's just a quick way to get through stuff. Get in the habit of copy and pasting. It'll save you a lot of time. So I copied people 3, right? This is, if you hit spacebar to see it, it's him talking. So that way I don't have to pull up his face again. And he's going to say, ho ho! A bar man, you say? What about a bar king? Alright, and then the actor, copy and paste, he's going to respond. Yeah, sure. That'll do. Alright. So now we want to expand our text, right? Instead of just this back and forth one-on-one dialogue, let's create like a little quiz like we did with the mermaid or something. Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste the king again, and he's going to say, I have been programmed, we're going to break the fourth wall here, to give you a quest. Let's make sure that fits. Sometimes this line here, when you're looking at your text, that shows you where, if you're playing the game, text is going to cut off. So if I were to continue typing here, ha ha ha, and I do preview, the ha 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 wouldn't show up. I would have to hit enter and knock it down to the next line. So pay attention to this line, and if it's ever close to the line, you want to preview it to make sure that it works. Okay? Alright, so I've been programmed to give you a quest, and our actor is going to say, okay. And then our king is going to say, let's do, answer me these questions of bar lore, and I shall reward thee with a drink. Awesome. All right. So now he's going to ask us some questions. So we're going to copy this again. Actually, yeah. All right, and he's going to say, let's look up some bar trivia. Bar trivia. Well, let's do beer trivia because that's like bar lore, right? Beer trivia. Well, this is no good. Beer quiz. What's your beer IQ? Nice. The head of a beer refers to... Alright, let's see. Okay, so he's going to say, answer me these questions of bar lore, and I shall reward thee with ... a drink. So the way we ask a question is we're going to double click here on the next line, and we're going to do show... Whoops. Well, first let's have him ask the question. Sorry. So copy and pasting that again, he's going to then ask the question. The head of a beer refers to... Well, how did they word it? Oh, just refers to. All right. And then we're going to do choices. This is important. The default choice means if they were to accidentally hit enter or X or something, then they might accidentally choose an answer without trying to, which is no bueno. Also, if they were to X out, like hit escape to exit, they would actually by default hit choice number 2. So we're going to make there's no default like first answer, and if they cancel, it disallows a choice. It's just a good habit to get into with that. So yeah. All right, let's see here. The neck of the bottle. What's the next one? The foam on top of the beer. The strength of the beer's flavor. And the beer's alcohol content. All right. So I think it's probably the foam, right? Isn't that what head is? Is it going to tell me? It's not going to tell me. Okay. So let's pretend that the neck is the incorrect answer. Okay. So now we've got these choices. And these diamonds are now, they're like indented a little bit. These correspond to what happens if you make this choice. You can tell where they are by they're indented. When you're done making choices, it goes back to the diamond on the same line as your original diamonds, which means you're back to your normal event. I hope that makes sense. So when the neck of the bottle, when we guess that, that's the wrong answer. So we are going to copy the king talking, paste it here, and he's going to say, no, it is not the neck. You lose. Alright, since you answered it wrong, the next line is going to be game over. Boom. This is a tough quiz. Alright, the foam at the top of the beer, we're going to, again, paste the king talking, and he's going to say, correct. Next question. Questions? Question. Alright. And then we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. So now, to save time, I'm going to left click on the text of the king talking and hold in left shift and left click on game over. And that the shift left click allows you to add lines to what you're like trying to copy. Does that make sense? So you left click on something, and if you shift left click anywhere below it, it's going to copy or highlight all the content before where you left click. So like that. I just want the text and the game over so that I don't have to go through the menus and do game over every time. So I'm going to control copy, and this is now the strength of the beer's flavor. We're going to paste it. The only thing we need to do is go back to this text, and we're going to edit. No, it is not the flavor. Strength. Flavor strength. All right. And then see how it's cut off here? You lose. If you preview that. Actually, they managed to make it fit. Okay, well, we'll just leave it then. Okay. And now we are going to paste all that stuff again under beer's alcohol content. And we're going to change, no, it's not the neck, to no, it's not the alcohol content. You lose. All right. Now, in all the instances where you lose, it's just a game over, so the game ends. But now we want to deal with this, and this is the last thing I want to show you. It's called a self switch. So when the foam is at the top of the beer, that's the head, I hope. If you're a beer aficionado and that's the wrong answer, I do apologize. So correct next question. So the reason we need to put in a switch or something here is if I don't, after you answer these questions, let's say you got it correct next question, and then it would go to the end of the content, right? Because nothing else happened. It would read through this, and since nothing changed, like there wasn't a game over, it would just skip down to the next line of content, which is nothing. And so then your dialogue with the king would end. And then you would come out to the main game like you were just playing. And then if you talked to the king again, this whole content would repeat, right? The action button. He'd say, hail and well met. It wouldn't make a lot of sense. So we have to change this event after we're done with this first line of content. So we're going to do that. The easiest way to make an event change, just one event, is you can do it within itself by doing a self switch. So correct next question, and then the next line underneath this, so you're still dealing with the win the foam on the top of the beer question, right? The diamond is under here. We're going to double left click, and we are going to, it's on the first page under game progression, which makes sense. It's how the game progresses. We're going to do a control self switch, and we're going to do A, just because that's the first one. They only give you 4, but that's okay. We're going to do A, and A is turned on. So now what we need to do is we need to make a new event page for Barman. Or Bar King, I should say. Bar King. All right, so we're going to say new event page. So now there's a second tab here, right? The second tab only becomes activated when the self switch A is on. So under conditions, we want to go self switch and click it so that it's checked on. And then we want to make sure that it's A because that's the one we selected back here in our line of coding. Okay, so the second tab, self switch A is on. We still want the image to appear like the king. So let's find the king. Here he is. And we still want it to be triggered by talking to him. So now when we talk to him, I'm going to control paste because we still have his line of text, but I'm going to delete the game over. So now, so he's going to say something totally different, right? He said another question. So he's going to say, just kidding, no more questions. Have a beer. The reason I knocked it down there with the inner is if I'd done have a beer here, it would cut off the period. See how it does that where the line is? So we're just going to go ahead and hit enter and say have and then a beer on the next line so it looks nice and tidy. Alright, so he's going to say have a beer, And now I'm going to show you just a couple of those silly options like making it rain or whatever. So right under have a beer, he's going to go, we're going to double click on that line, go to the second page. There's all this stuff you can do to the screen, right? So let's do set weather effect. And we're going to do type. Storm. It's going to be a powerful storm, 9. And it's going to happen after 1 second, right? Frames is 1 frame per 60 seconds, so 60 frames equals 1 second. And we're going to wait for that to complete. So a storm is going to start after he says no more questions, have a beer. And then he's going to say, let's copy his text line again, put it here. And he's going to say in all caps, a beer storm, that is. All right. And then, so the storm happens, a beer storm, and then we are going to double click on the next line, and we're going to tint the screen, and we're going to do, let's make the screen, who's good at colors? How do I make it like brown? I want to make like a, right, because it's like, what about red and green? Damn it. I should have paid attention in colors class. Shit. Alright, this looks brownish, right? Oh dear. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. There, this is what's going to happen. So the screen is going to be tinted this, let's pretend that I know colors and this is the color brown, okay? So it's going to be tinted brown because all of a sudden the world is filled with beer, and then it's going to say, let's just make this a dark game, right? You can't possibly win. Game over. All right, so that's going to end the game, right? So let's go ahead and test everything and make sure we did it right. And obviously with the questions and the quizzes, you can make a whole game out of that, right? You can just self-switch A, he asks a new line of questions. Self-switch B, he asks a whole bunch more questions, on and you go. So yeah, we're loading it up here. Yar, welcome to Sea Captain Land. Your mission is to talk to the barman at the bar. Or, as we know, the bar king at the carpet. Okay. Hail and well met, traveler. Hello, I need a barman. Ho ho, a barman. You say, what about a bar king? Yeah, sure, that'll do. I have been programmed to give you a quest. Ha ha ha. Okay. Answer me these questions of bar lore, and I shall reward thee with a drink. Answer me these. Oh dear, what did I do wrong? I don't know why he said that twice. I think I copy and pasted it or whatever. So the head of a beer refers to. Well, we know if we choose any of these, it's going to be a game over, right? So let's just do the foam on top of the beer. Correct. Next question. And now he stops doing stuff until we talk to him again. Just kidding. No more questions. Have a beer. And now a beer storm, that is. And there we go. So that is how you play with some text and do some auto runs and play with self switches. You could very easily make a game with your kids out of just those features, and it would be a really fun, cool game. So that is your second tutorial. Enjoy.